How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to SCC. So, like I mentioned in the last video, I have an engine kit here. It's going to be another 49cc 4-stroke Husheng engine kit. So it's going to have all the other stuff in there. We're going to get right into it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to go through all the parts and let you know what I'm going to keep, what I'm not going to keep, and why. So let's get right into it. Alright, so I have everything laid out here, pretty chock full of kit, except the funny thing is, and what I've actually had people write in about, is I'm missing some of the parts. So I'll just do a quick overview here. Obviously I got the engine. I have some paper here that says it's an instruction manual, but anybody who's ever assembled these and looked at the instruction manual, there's some words in there and there's some pictures, but that may or may not be pertaining to what's in front of you. So, pretty useless. So, I got the throttle cable. This is a mounting plate, attaches to your frame, and then the engine goes on top. I got the chain wheel and arms for the crank. So basically it would give you a wider stance through the engine, but the funny thing about it is the shaft that goes through the frame and these attached to, along with the bearings and everything, those are not in the box. So I have these. I have some hardware in the bag here. So these are your nuts and bolts and everything for attaching the engine to the mounting plate. And also, actually that's pretty much it. This bag is pretty much just for that. Really watch every kit I've gotten so far. They put the wrong bolts in there. A lot of times the bolts are too long. So when you're screwing the bolts in from the bottom of the plate to go into the engine, you're going to sit there and you're going to run into a lot of resistance. Do not crank them down. It's such a soft metal on the engine, you're going to strip it out, and there's really no way on the engine to redo it. So once you strip the bolt out, you're screwed. So be really careful. What I really do in the beginning is I actually take a little piece of wire or something and stick it in the hole in the bottom of the engine to see how deep the holes are. And then I take that measurement and then I check the bolts before I put them in, so I know what bolts are going to be the right size. If they have the wrong ones, then I'll go to Home Depot or Menards or something and get the right size bolts for it. Next in line is going to be a chain guard. I never use these things. It's really flimsy. I've never been impressed with how they attach to the frame. They're meant to be somewhat universal. Since frames are so different, it looks really janky putting this on there, so I never put these on, at least my builds. Fuel tank, little peanut tank. It's about a ½ gallon. Normally, the insides of these, I've actually got quite a few that are rusty. I've used them in the past, but on these next two builds, I'm actually going to have someone custom make me a tank. Haven't thought of the design that I'm going with. I'm going to kind of have him look at the bike and just kind of run with tank design. So this one, I already checked the inside. It's remarkably clean on the inside. The little pressure cap on here, it's going to have a rubber seal on there. I have also not had a tank yet that's sealed properly. So when you go to the gas tank, you fill it up, and you're riding along the first corner you take, or any bumps or anything, you're going down the road and you got gas coming out the gas cap and dripping not only on your engine, but then blowing back on your legs. Great combination, right? Get your legs soaked in gas and then drip some on the engine so it starts getting on fire. Awesome. Which now I know why they have flames on the cover here. Maybe that's their whole plan. So this is going to be engine cover. Once you get the drive on the side of the engine, this is actually going to cover up the belt, so you don't get your leg or anything caught in the belt. This is going to be their rear sprocket system that's going to attach to the rear wheel and attach to the spokes. It's called, from what I've heard, the pineapple adapter. So I'll actually get into that once I get my hub-mounted adapter through in about a week or so. I'll do a video installing one of these, and then I'll install a hub-mounted bracket and show you how much easier and how much more beneficial the hub-mounted sprocket adapters are versus this. Next in line is going to be your hand grips, your throttle. I see this one is actually a little bit upgraded. So on the inside here, they have a little, it used to be plastic, so you have to drill a hole in your handlebar and put that little nub in that hole. That when you twist your throttle, the whole thing doesn't twist. It keeps the housing stationary. This one is actually metal, so it should hold up. I know the plastic ones, I didn't even get one twist on and they already broke. This is still plastic housing. I don't think I'm going to use this one. I'm actually going to go to an aluminum housing, which is going to be even more durable than this. I haven't really decided yet, because this one is actually better than the last ones I had. Next in line is going to be your chain tensioner. So basically the design of this is this bracket here flips around and it goes around your frame, and then your chain just goes right on this nylon chain wheel here. I've used these on 3 out of 4 of my builds and never had anything go wrong with it. It's always served me well. The only thing that I was a little bit uneasy about is, since it's just hugged around your frame, if it had enough pressure on it or if it loosened up or anything like that, it could get sucked in by the tension on the chain pulling it, and if it goes in, it's going to hit your wheel, and as you can imagine, 30 miles an hour, if this goes into your spokes, you're going to have a bad day. So that's that. You're going to have your bag of parts. This is going to be some of the pieces to your pineapple adapter for your rear sprocket. It's also going to be a fuel filter and fuel line. Fuel line I toss out immediately. The fuel line, I can't even describe it. This one's actually already yellow and brown, so that's an awesome sign. Fuel lines they include are so soft, it's almost like an IV tube. They don't last. Within 2 months with that fuel going through there and being out in elements, it shrunk to about half the size, and it's hard as like a hardened plastic and starting to show cracks. Again, not something you want when you have fuel going through it. Again, maybe that's why they put flames in their cover, I don't know. So go to your local small engine repair shop or something like that and just pick up a really good fuel line. It's only going to cost you a couple bucks, and all the fuel lines that I've purchased through a small engine shop last forever. Or not forever, but at least I've had the longest one on 2 years now, and it's still fine. Then you're going to have your drive system, so it's going to be the housing for a drive system, the clutch, your belt, and then your main drive wheel, which sits in the back. Also has a sprocket. Your chain goes around here and then goes back to your hub-mounted sprocket adapter, or any sprocket adapter that you choose. So, and then obviously your chain, it's going to be a 415 size chain. So this will go from, this is going to go on your drive side from your engine back to your rear sprocket. That's pretty much a breakdown of what the kit consists of. All the parts, well, except for some of the parts that they forgot to pack or whatever. So that's most of the parts. The only parts that I'm going to use on my builds is going to be the engine plate, maybe the throttle cable, and on this build I'm going to use this drive. The next engine I get, I'm actually going to experiment with a different drive that's supposed to have more torque and more top speed, which is phenomenal. So all the other parts, the pineapple adapter, the sprocket, the chain tensioner, the tank, chain guard, part of your 3-piece kit, those parts I'm not going to use. So yeah, that's basically an unboxing and overview of a basic Husheng 49cc 4-stroke engine kit. I'm going to be starting on the build here soon, putting everything together, kind of mocking everything up, and then we'll go from there. So the next video is either going to be the wide crank set or the rear hub-mounted sprocket adapter, depending on what parts come in soonest. So please like, share, subscribe. Again, I've been having issues with responding to comments on YouTube, so if I don't respond to you, it's not because I didn't try. There's just some issue that won't allow me to respond to some comments. So please, if you want to send me a comment, send it to my email. It's sinistercustomcycles@gmail.com. Or you can also find me on Facebook, which is facebook.com/SCCMN. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. Remember to hit that like button, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.